Hi guys, I'm really happy to see you. So let me see how many people are here. So join me. I'm gonna tell you something about speaking tonight. Okay, so I'm really thankful for like so I'm really grateful for you finding the time today, tonight, and to join me. Okay, so I'm really happy to see you all. For those of you who can't make it today, you can watch it later. I'll save the video here. So you just go to my channel and watch it and enjoy it. I'm gonna share my tips and my experience about speaking, okay, about speaking, and we're going to look on band descriptors and some of the misconceptions a lot of guys have, and probably you've read it on the internet and you've heard a lot about it on YouTube. So you can't trust everything. So please trust only the official sites and please trust only the authentic materials. I'm gonna share um, all the sources in the last slide. So yeah, just please stay with me. Okay, don't go away. I'll share my experience and I'll probably give you some tips how to improve your speaking because the most I would say the most striking thing for me as a teacher is that you don't use the whole potential you have. Most of you are upper intermediate students, but for some reason, you don't use all resources you have.
All the grammar range, all the vocabulary range, guys. Okay, but yeah, I have some kind of explanation, so I know why. Okay, so this session is going to be like for I think 45 minutes. Okay, and then you can ask me anything concerning IELTS. Okay. Um, all right, so something is going on here with YouTube. Is everything fine? Okay, I hope everything is fine and we can start. All right, so the first thing I want to share with you is let me switch my presentation. Is this quote, okay? So it's been said by Simon Kirkwarren. He's an ex-IELTS examiner, and I love his site. Okay, big up, Simon. I love your site. So, guys, you can just check his site, and he's an amazing person, an amazing teacher. So, and I fully agree with this quote, okay? Instead of trying to translate ideas from your own language or trying to construct sentences using your knowledge of English grammar, aim to build your sentences using phrases or chunks of language that you know to be correct because you have seen or have heard them being used by native speakers. Okay, the more you watch, the more you hear, is much better than textbooks, right? And yeah, due to the educational system in some of the countries, you guys are taught to use grammar in, I don't know, fill in the gaps exercises or in some kind of matching exercises or in some multiple choice tasks. Okay, it's not really the case here. Okay, IELTS speaking is how much you can sound like a person who can use English language, who can survive in any English speaking environment, okay? Because as for IELTS general, you are going to work or you're going to live there, right? In some kind of English speaking country. As for the IELTS academic, you are going to study in, like, you're going to study abroad, and you should be able to speak English and to use 2019 version of English, right? Okay, because some of the books, some of the textbooks are so outdated, and yeah, at schools it's a little bit different English. That is why you have all these problems. So you try to translate from your own language, which is wrong, okay? So please watch the talk shows, watch TED channel. I'll share some YouTube channels at the end, okay, of this presentation. So try to watch native speakers and try to use real English language. So I've been, traveling a lot, and I've been teaching in the US. And and I had one student, he's from Japan, and his English is okay, and he's been living in New York like for 2 years, but he couldn't get 6.5 for IELTS. Okay, 6.5 is not that like huge. Yeah, okay, it's not that big. But he didn't know the criteria. So he was just answering like in a simple manner. But the fact is, guys, you have to answer, you have to know all the band descriptors, okay? You have to, oh please, like, I want to just change this slide. Okay, so here are the band descriptors, the same as in writing, okay? So you have to know what the examiners want from you, okay? And you gotta be successful, okay? So there are 4 criteria: fluency, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. So let me just explain, let me clarify. Okay, for some reason, yeah, so I got it. Okay, so the stream is a little bit late. Okay, that's fine. Okay, as for the fluency, guys, don't like try, keep talking, okay? Keep talking. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Yeah, of course, you have to speak on the topic, but still. So you should be able to speak at length, okay? And there should be minimum of pauses and hesitations. Yeah, you can self correct, it's fine, but not like much, okay? You should be able to be understood. This is really critical here. When you translate something from your native language, it doesn't mean that the native speaker is going to understand you. Okay, guys, especially some of the idioms, maybe, or some of the, I don't know, some of the phrases that you use in your native language. You just translate them, and it doesn't make sense. Like the native speaker will not understand you, okay? So please make sure you are being understood, okay? So yeah, and also use some linking devices. For example, you're going to have some kind of plan, and just follow this plan, connect these ideas so as the listener could easily understand you, okay? As for the lexical resource, you should use the range of words and paraphrasing. It is really vital. So, in part one, in part three, the examiner is going to ask you if you repeat, if you're parroting, if you're like a parrot. So it's a bird who repeats after you. Yeah, for those guys who don't remember this. Okay, so don't do this. Try to paraphrase, and don't paraphrase with the synonyms all the time. Paraphrasing also includes different parts of speech. So if you say production, you can say something is produced, right? As in writing, I've taught you that. It's the same here, okay? So if there is a question, when do you usually smile? Well, I usually smile when is you just repeat the words from the question. Try to say it differently. For example, well, every I don't know, every day makes me smile, or whenever I wake up or see, I don't know, my friend's texts, it makes me smile, okay? So anything like that. Try to paraphrase. Use collocations. Collocations are really important because most of you, again, translate from your native language, and it's different in English. Sometimes it might be a different preposition, it might be absolutely different phrase, and So do not translate, do not build up the collocations that you think exist in English language. Try to listen to native speakers as much as you can. Like, try to listen to them every day. You make a cup of coffee, you wake up, listen to TED Talks, listen to talk shows. I don't know, Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, you remember her. Whatever, like Jimmy Fallon, anyone, just listen to real English language from the 21st century. Okay? Um, as for the last common vocabulary, we are going to focus on that later. So, last common vocabulary among the English, not English speaking people, but English learners, okay? Try to be different. So if you are saying, okay, hi, I'm from Japan, so it sounds a little bit more elementary, and try to add something about your country. I come from a relatively small town which is in the north of Japan, which is called somehow. Okay, and you can also use idioms. We're gonna speak about that later again. Okay, so and of course try to limit your mistakes. Okay, it's okay to make mistakes even for seven. It's okay, but try to limit them. All right. As for grammar range, oh my, it's my favorite. Okay, you guys are mostly like you're all upper intermediate. You're all B2 students. But as I have already mentioned, you are taught to use all the grammar range in the exercises, in the tests, in the standardized tests you have. And for some reason, speaking is something which is done like by the plan in your exams, I mean, in your countries. It's not when you naturally speak, but IELTS checks your natural speech, okay? Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. I can see some comments. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You can hear me. Everything is fine. Good. Okay, I can move on. All right. So, as for grammatical range, please, you got Google, guys. Yeah, so you're not banned there. Okay, just Google. If you want to get 7, it is C1 level, right? So just Google grammar for C1 level. What grammar you should show to the examiner: conditionals, passive voice, past passive, perfect passive, past modals, whatever. So you have to demonstrate and you have to use it naturally also. Okay, remember about that, because most of upper intermediate students, they have amazing fluency. Their level is great. So their vocabulary level is amazing. But for some reason, they keep using present simple and past simple. This is elementary. So, and this grammar range and accuracy score is going to knock down all of the scores you're going to get. So you're going to get 4 marks for this test, and you're going to get like the overall mark here. So if you get like 7747, it's gonna spoil the whole picture. Okay, so be really careful here. The range is important and the accuracy. Okay, and yeah, one more about sentence structures. Try to use when you use more details, when you describe something, of course you should use relative, non-relative clauses. It's like when, where, how, when, why, and what. Okay, try to add the details. Okay, I'll show you how. And pronunciation. Most of you guys think pronunciation is something like the accent. No, it like it has nothing to do with the accent. It's fine, whatever accent you have, as long as you sound clear, it's good. Okay, as long as I can understand you, it's amazing. Okay, so but for those guys who want to get more, and your level and your fluency, grammatical range, and vocabulary is great, but your pronunciation might be a little bit monotonous. I know that in some languages, like in your native language, you might speak like on the same level. It's not really good because native English speakers use intonation. They use like rise fall and fall rise intonation. So try to vary, okay? So remember how British people speak. However, I want to mention something. Okay, Americans also use this, right? So this is rising intonation. So work on your intonation. Okay, and of course, it's okay to mispronounce some sounds. No, it's not okay. So pronounce everything correctly. Because when you mispronounce one sound, it's gonna be another word. So snack and snake are different. So if you mispronounce the vowel sound, so it's gonna be different word. It's gonna be absolutely different word. All right, so let me move on. Okay. So this meme is my favorite one. By the way, I've made it. So no, I mean, so there is a meme, but I've decided to connect it to Ielts. So this is Ielts speaking in three pictures. So that's pretty much it. You have to know. Okay. So actually try to be in examiner's shoes. Yeah, try to think, okay, if the student like tells me I work at McDonald's, how can I actually evaluate it? How can I like, okay, so it's just, I don't know, 4 words. So there is nothing to like, it's band 5, so probably the student is limited in his language resources, and he's not able to communicate, he's not able to show his language. Okay, so that's why it's band 5 only. I have a part-time job in fast food, yeah, in fast food industry, which is called McDonald's. It is much better because you give details, and so it's so if I add which is called, it's gonna be a complex sentence, so it's a little bit better. So guys, focus on details, okay? And number 3, it's amazing. Okay, I handle transactions for a multi-billion-dollar company and industry on a daily basis and help provide around $2 billion to the U.S. economy each year. Okay, so it's funny. I know. It's like it's great, but it's pretty much reflects the IELTS speaking exam. Okay, so the more details you're going to show, you're going to speak about, you're going, because your task is describe. Description implies details. All right, so let's move on. Okay, and I'm gonna focus on the 3 parts. But again, guys, the overall impression is really important. Excuse me for a second. It's getting hot in here because of the lamp. Okay. So, still, the overall impression is important. And there is not no such a thing that examiner gives you a band for part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah, he does. But, I mean, in part 1, he just um, he understands what kind of level you have. That's why he's asking some weird questions. Do you look at the sky? When was the last time you looked at the sky? Okay. Do you wear sunglasses? Have you ever lost sunglasses? Okay. Do you wear shoes? All right. Okay. So in part 1, a lot of students, they underestimate the part 1, and they think, well, it's so easy, I won't practice, it's easy as a piece of cake, I'm gonna answer all the questions. But sometimes they got stuck on some question, okay, because it's a little bit weird, it can be weird, okay, about sunglasses, about smiles, about sky. For example, today we've been working on part 1 with my student, and there was a question, how can you identify a fake smile? This is a question from part 1. Okay, so give details. So give something about the look, give something about how the person behaves, how he looks, and his expression, right? Okay, the more vocabulary, the more description you use, the better. Okay, part 2, you are given 1 minute to prepare and 2 minutes to speak. try to speak for 2 minutes. Let the examiner interrupt you. It's fine. But if you speak less than 2 minutes, then you are unable to speak at length. Okay? So focus on giving interesting and detailed description. Okay? Detailed is a key thing here. Okay? Because they love details. What, where, when, and how and why. You got this plan. So don't just answer with one sentence to each bullet point. Give details. For example, so the last time I had IELTS last year, and I had a question to describe my favorite toy from my childhood. Oh my god. To be honest, well, I knew about this question, but I hadn't even looked up any vocabulary, any words, okay? So, and I'd been described so I've described a Barbie doll, okay, a Hollywood Barbie doll with hair and with a special spray. It was a mist. So, and when you spray it all over her hair, so the pink stars appear. So, and that is why she's called Hollywood. Like she got stars all over her outfit and so on. So, and I gave these details and it was fine. I got 8.5, almost 9. So the more details you give, the better. And the more spontaneous you are, the better, okay? And part 3, there are gonna be questions about people, not you, because part 1, part 2 are about you guys, so you can speak. So this is my doll, that was my doll, and it's like my situation. As for part 3, so be ready to speak about people in general. Be ready to generalize, okay? And especially, this is tip from me, Tutor AF, okay? So, actually, it's my name, Arina Fadeva. Okay, so my initials. Part 3, okay? Be ready to compare the generations because IELTS examiners, they love asking you about children, about older people in your country. So please Google the videos about the difference in generations. Please, there are plenty of videos on YouTube about millennials, about silent generation, about I generation, about, I mean, like the newest Gen Z, right? So know the difference between them because, oh, this is my favorite topic. Okay, I won't describe go into details here because I love it because, okay, so but be ready to compare children, teenagers and older people, okay? So that's pretty much it. I think part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay, these are my tips. Okay, so yeah, so something about my own experience. My first IELTS was in 2012, then 14, and then 18. Okay, I tried to pass IELTS I tried to take IELTS every 2 years because the certificate expires, and speaking's been my favorite part. I love it, okay? So, but in 2012, I hadn't even prepared at all. Like, I was like, okay, let me try. And I was describing an animal, I was describing a moose, okay? So it was an unexpected topic, and the reason why I got 8, I think, is that I was really spontaneous and I was speaking. I wasn't thinking about anything. I wasn't hesitating. I was fluent. So, and maybe natural. So, in 2014, I got the easiest topic ever, an application on your phone that you find on your phone, I guess. Yeah, that you find useful. Okay, it was easy as a piece of cake. Okay, 2018, a toy from my childhood. Honestly, well, I'm not really keen on children, but since I'm a teacher, I'm okay. I can like judge it from my own experience. But still, I was like a little bit upset with the topic. I didn't really like it, but I tried my best, and I was describing this Barbie doll I've already mentioned, and we've been talking about like influence of films and media on children. And so I was just, talking to the examiner. I wasn't thinking about anything. Though, as a teacher, I always tell my students, use this, and that. But when you are there, it's absolutely different situation. It's absolutely different psychological state. You are just, you know, you are a little bit stressed. I know you are stressed more than me. But so you can't think about anything in like during this test. There, like you got 11 to 14 minutes to show all your grammar range, vocabulary range, your fluency. So guys, use it, okay? And try to speak. And of course, prepare beforehand, but do not memorize answers, okay? Because yeah, it's another thing I want to tell you about. Try to be spontaneous. Not try to be spontaneous. It's crucial here. It's absolutely crucial. So I've been always spontaneous, and I've been successful not because I'm a teacher, because yeah, of course, like I've got a lot of experience, but for some reason, some of my advanced students got 7.5. They didn't get 8 because they were stressed, because I don't know, because maybe they've learned something beforehand and they've been using outdated vocabulary. They've been using some of the phrases, some of the idioms on purpose. But you should sound really natural, guys. The more natural you sound, the better. The more naturally you sound, the better. Okay? But my tip here is like for those guys who watch my videos for the first time, who don't know me personally, okay? Never ever memorize the answers. Mm-mm. Yes, memorize the vocabulary, collocations, chunks, everything. But you should be spontaneous, okay? Uh, my favorite part, idioms, okay? See this cat? So it's my expression when I hear some kind of old school idioms. I'm like, are we living in the 19th century or what? Are you like, guys, be more realistic here. The language is changing every day, every second. So the things you've learned probably, even if you are from the linguistic faculty, the things you've learned at university are different now, okay? And so most of the universities and most hello, here we are. So hi Tusa, this is my cat, and she's always here to check me out. Okay, whatever. So most of you guys are like taught another kind of language, and so at school it's like most of the idioms or proverbs they teach you are outdated. They are old school. So please forget them, okay? And if you use idioms just for the sake of using them, it's not gonna be good for your score, okay? Let me explain this misconception here, okay? So what they mean in IELTS band descriptors, okay, in this, so go to IELTS ORG on the official side and just find speaking band descriptors. So you'll find such expressions as less common vocabulary and idiomatic vocabulary. That is why a lot of sites and a lot of teachers and you guys also, you start, okay, sorry, my cat is here. Okay, so a lot of you guys just learn this vocabulary, okay, but that's fine. She's okay here. I'm sorry, my cat is distracting me. Okay, let me just move her somewhere. Okay, a lot of you guys just misunderstand this. Okay, you think that the more idioms I use, the higher score I gonna get. To be honest, Have I ever used any idiom in my speech? I got 8 and 8.5. Do you think I was thinking about idioms? Maybe they come out naturally. It's like idiomatic language. It's not like I don't know what is the most old school idiom you guys use. Oh, the most hackneyed one is it's raining cats and dogs. Forget it. Okay, so don't use these old school idioms. So the idiom can be like the expression to get over something. It's also idiomatic language. You know it for sure. You've heard it in some songs. Okay, so when you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you split up and you break up, so you want to get over him or her. So it's also idiomatic language. Exactly. Like guys, just you've been using it all your life, all the time. Okay. So, um idiomatic is defined in most dictionaries in this way: using, containing, or denoting expressions that are natural to a native speaker. Natural to a native speaker, but not to a native speaker from the 19th century. Not for your grandma, okay? For a native speaker from 2019, okay? And less common vocabulary, so it means used by learners of English, not less common vocabulary used by native speakers. That's really crucial here, okay? So I know that you guys love this phrase. What is this? What is this? The crux of the matter? Something like that. Oh, I forgot. So because I don't like it, and I've heard a lot of you guys using it because you've heard it somewhere on like on all these videos about IELTS. Okay, so the examiners are not looking for big or difficult words. They are looking for phrases and collocations. So the more native-like you sound, the better, okay? So let's move on. I hope it was useful, right? So please learn the idioms. Write down the idioms, even if you watch some TV show, if you watch any series, write out the idioms, okay? As long as they're 2019. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Sorry for that. Oh, okay. Just a second. Something is okay. So here are my tips. Okay, first of all, don't worry too much about speaking. This is another problem you guys have. You overthink, okay? So, and all these misconceptions and all the things you've read and like, okay, stop. Just forget about your books. I mean, I'm talking about the guys who have upper intermediate level. If you guys are somewhere on intermediate or 5.5, it's okay for you to use the language you use, but try to improve. For the guys who are 6.5 and you want 7, okay, don't overthink. Just speak. Relax and speak, okay? And practice. Sometimes you think, okay, so the topic: describe an important person from your family, and you think, okay, I gotta describe my mom, and then you forget about it. No, video yourself, video record yourself, like so I'm going to describe my mom. She's blah 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 blah. So just make a video of yourself, then listen to it. Or maybe you can send voicemails, the voice messages to your friends and then listen. You should listen to yourself. If you don't have a teacher who can mark, yeah, who can score your speaking. Okay, if you are preparing alone and you don't have any resources around, just send your videos. Just, I don't know, download Tandem application. So find native speakers to assess your speaking. Just maybe they can listen to it and they can tell you, okay, I got it. Or what's the phrase you've used here? We don't use it anymore. So with the speaking as well as with writing, you need someone's assessment, okay? You need someone's estimation because it's really hard to prepare alone. I mean, with the reading and listening, it's fine, but with the speaking, you overthink and you're stressed a lot. So the more you speak, the more you really speak, you open your mouth and speak and not think like, okay, I'm gonna describe that, I'm gonna describe that, it's fine. No, it's not gonna be fine. And your upper intermediate gonna sound like elementary in like eventually. Yeah? Okay, I don't want this to happen, okay? So please don't be so stressed. Okay, so that's my favorite part. Ielts grammar. Okay, so it's again for the guys who have intermediate or upper intermediate level. I'm pretty sure you know all this grammar, but you don't use it. You, again, it's the educational system in your country. Yeah, okay, whatever, just try to use it. Try to have the grammar range. Don't use just past and present simple, okay? Use to conditionals, present perfect, past perfect, present perfect continuous. So actually native speakers use present perfect and present perfect continuous all the time. Every time, okay? I've been working a lot, or I've been living here for all my life. I've been teaching a lot, okay? So different ways of expressing future. So yeah, different future tenses and continuous tense and be going to and so on. Past modals is for the guys who are advanced, okay, C1 level. Um, I wish I could be like her, like him. It's also like, yeah, upper intermediate. It's I'm pretty sure you know all this grammar and passive. Okay, so you can use passive in such phrases as I've been told or it is thought that. Okay, so it's pretty easy. And be natural. Yeah, one good thing. Yeah, let's summarize what I've been talking about. Okay. So, okay, nope. Something is wrong with my presentation. I'm really sorry. So let me switch it. Okay, everything is fine. Yeah, let me summarize everything. Okay. Learn to speak about details. Describe everything in the details. So when you describe something or somebody, uh, think about the picture the tutor or the examiner is having in his head. Don't generalize. Generalize in part 3. In part 2, be precise. Remember about the vocabulary and grammar range. The more synonyms or different parts of speech you use, the more tenses you use, or the more grammatical structures you use, the better. Okay, but they should be used up to the point. Okay, they should be used naturally. Remember about the spontaneous speech. Do not memorize the answers. Okay, always use natural language from 2019 and correctly use idioms. Okay, so I think I'm gonna share some of the idioms. I'm gonna make like a video about the idioms from 2019 and what native speakers usually use. But they're a little bit different in America and in Britain and in Australia, but that's fine, I guess. Okay, English is English. I love all Englishes, if I can say so. Okay, no stress, guys. No stress. Relax. You're good. Your English is amazing. So they should be respectful and they should respect that you are not a native speaker and you can speak like a native speaker. At least you are trying, okay? Then please I've promised to share some resources. So IELTS Lee's recent exam questions is the best forum ever. So all the students all over the world who are having their IELTS exam are sharing all the topics, speaking part 3 topics, writing topics on this site. So Google recent exam questions IELTS Liz. So thank you, Liz, for creating such a site. You're an amazing teacher and you're an amazing personality. Thanks a lot for your help. So I highly recommend using this site. It is amazing. And Liz makes a list of topics every 3 months because IELTS examiners change the topics every 3 months. So it's not the like they're not the predictions. It's not the like 100% true that you're going to get the topic from this list, but still you'll be prepared. So actually, judging by my own experience, I got this like last year. I got the topic about the doll from that list from Liz's site, and all of my students keep getting the topics from this site. That's why I trust it. Okay, and of course, IELTSSimon.com is a really nice site. It's an amazing site with great grammar, vocabulary. So he always shares great vocabulary. So these are the two sites, two ex-examiners whom I trust, and they're really nice. I know there are a lot of sites out there, but not all of them are good actually. They are not relevant sometimes. They're outdated or they are like for band 6 or 6.5. If you need more, you have to choose from these sites, okay? And of course, guys, listen to TED Talks, listen to the Guardian podcasts. So they have a great podcast. Let's talk about education, business, population, crisis, a lot of things that are discussed in IELTS. So, and you can hear people from Britain, from America, speaking and discussing these topics using 2019 language. Okay, so I personally listen to the Guardian podcast every time I go on the subway, every time I go somewhere instead of music. So it's amazing, and I write out all the words that I like, all the collocations that I like. Only this way you can improve your language, okay? If you don't have any other options, okay, so this is a good way. YouTube channels, for example, PragerU is an amazing YouTube channel. So they got short videos about like different topics, history, economics, problems, and all the problems that we have now, global problems, I mean. Okay, so it's really, really interesting. I've been like watching their videos for a long time and it's great. It's great. So guys, it's pretty much it, and this is, I mean, the last slide. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your attention, and for that, those guys who can watch me later, thank you also. Okay, now it's Q&A session. You can ask me anything you want. Okay, I'll wait a little bit since the stream is a little bit late. Okay, so ask me any questions about speaking, but my advice is be natural, sound natural, be spontaneous, whatever accent you got. So I got American accent and this exam is British, but it's absolutely fine. I got 8.5. Don't think about the accent. Don't overthink. Don't be stressed. Just speak. Even my students who like usually make mistakes and very stupid mistakes, they got 7, and I was like, what? 7? Great, I'm really happy for you. Okay, so I think it's a little bit subjective too. So it depends what kind of examiner you're gonna have. Okay, so are there any questions? Yeah, thanks a lot. Scenes, I guess your name is. Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. I'm really happy to see you on all my streams. So if you got no questions, I think I can wrap up. Yeah, I can finish up. Yeah, thanks for watching. Let me just make a story for my Insta. Okay. Alright, guys, thanks a lot for watching. For those guys who are gonna watch me later, so I've saved it on my YouTube channel. Just go there and watch it wherever you want. Okay, bye bye, guys. Okay, thanks a lot. That's it. If there are no more questions, I'll wait a little bit maybe because the broadcast, the stream is a little bit late. So shall I stop? Okay, it was really nice to see you. Bye bye.